not a king, I am not a god, I am Unctane!
Hello and welcome Tano! I hope you enjoyed the gameplay of the Torid against level 9199 Steel Path enemies in Warframe. Now this is the third build in my channel about the Torid, and every time I make a build for level cap, I try to make it as different as the previous one. Also, I do my best to keep the same forma count, so my community can copy the next build without investing forma. I do my best. So, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below if Torid is your favorite weapon. That will help a lot in the algorithm. Let's go. Now, before I build my weapons and my warframes, I use my method called DVS. D, how I'll be dealing damage, what elements I'll be using, what's the faction I'll be fighting. V, how I proc 10 stacks of viral to make enemy vulnerable by 325% more damage to their HP. S, for stripping enemies armor. Following this method will ensure that you create your own powerful builds without the need of anybody. Now, if you don't like my methods, you can check this sheet right here. It can help you maneuver around them to find your own style. Now remember, Tano, we take things to level cap, not as a show off, but to take down enemies at their prime EHP, effective hit points. As enemies based on level, they scale on HP and overguard and shields. Now, when we take a weapon, we don't want to fight low-level enemies and then the build fail to scale and can't kill level cap, you embarrass yourself in front of your friends. We don't want that. I want to provide the builds that works and scales without a riven. That's very, very important. Also, when we take warframes, we test the warframe survivability at enemies' prime damage output because, yes, they scale on damage based on level. You don't have to go to level cap, but having a build that's scalable in your arsenal, that's good to go. Now, Tano, before also I build my weapons, I go to Warframe wiki and I read all this kind of stuff to understand the weapon and what is this weapon is about and everything you need to know. Even there is notes and Incarnon evolutions and it's like a lot. Even it can tell you the bugs. For example, projectile will not explode when shot into water or upon hitting a source of formation. Due to length of the barrel, Torid can shoot through locked doors, can be sucked into Grendel using his fist, but the clouds will damage him instead of enemies. Galvanized aptitude is multiplicative to base damage source on direct hits and result in clouds of regular form. Clouds receive the multiplicative bonus only on the attached target. Now you see here a lot of stuff that the game doesn't tell you, and I don't know why the developers until this day, been a lot of years, they don't just copy Warframe wiki and implement it in-game so everyone can learn about the weapon within the game, especially the new players and the veterans to approve their builds. Now, let's start first with the evolution, since that weapon what is about. Let's go. Now, evolution 1, direct hits charge Incarnon transmutation, alt fire transmute switching back will expand any remaining charges, fire a long range toxin beam. Simple as that. Now, how you do that is really simple and easy. Shooting the enemies will charge that Incarnon. You see it under the aim. There you go. Now, activated with hitting the button in the mouse wheel, it become blue. Okay? And there you go. Simple as that. Now, evolution 2. You have to choose between two. Plentiful Mayhem or the final Fusillade. Now, Plentiful Mayhem is really nice and good, but it consumes your ammo a lot. And based on my testings, I think it is powerful, it is good, but I prefer nowadays to go for final Fusillade. It's easier that, you know, it's easier when it comes to the ammo. Now, when it comes to the Warframe wiki, if we just go right here and read about the evolution 2, right about here, you'd see that multi-shot consumes ammo directly from capacity and increases damage by 60%. Affect both modes. In case of Incarnon form, it pulls directly from its magazine. Now it makes it deplete faster. If you're okay with that low to mid game because a lot of ammo drops, you're good to go. Otherwise, for the end game, I prefer the other one. Now, the 3 multi-shot on last shot in magazine. You're not gonna get the 3 multi-shot all the way. So you have to choose between consuming your ammo very fast, or you want to choose 3 multi-shot on the last hit. That's totally up to you which one you prefer. For me, I would say this way. End game, final Fusillade, low to mid, Plentiful Mayhem. That's how I would say it. Now, Evolution 3, I like always to use Swift Deliverance, but you can use the Renewed Horror or the Extended Volley. It doesn't really matter here, but Swift Deliverance make it easier just to feel the Incarnon form and stuff like that. Now, Evolution 4, you got 3 options. You increase your base statue chance, which is amazing if you want to build him around statue chance purely. This one is balanced between CC and statue chance, and this one is pure CC increase. Now, if you're building him for full CC, Commodore's Fortune is way to go. I prefer Survivor's Edge because we have 2 elements on this build, so I prefer to have extra statue chance to, let's say, lift the balance of the statue in there. Now, when it comes to my DVS, that's the D will show you in Torid how you deal damage and how you mod it and everything, but I chose today to use Excalibur to showcase the weapon as follow. I'll be running 2 Emerald Archon shards as my Torid will be modded for corrosive. How this works: 10 stacks of corrosive eat 80% armor strip. With 2 Emerald Archon shards, we push the 10 stacks to 14. That's 105% armor strip. Enemies HP turn from yellow armored enemies to red armored enemies because they're armor stripped. Now, if you want to run 1 Tau Forged Emerald Archon shards, that's 98%. I don't like it because enemies will remain yellow HP and I can't identify which enemy is stripped, which not, and I like to strip them 100%. Now, for viral, I'll be using Nourish. Nourish will give you the viral, and enemies when hit you, they get the viral hit as well. Now, when it comes to the, let's say, arcanes, I'm not going to use any arcanes yet, and we're going to scale the build slowly together. When it comes to companion, I took it off, so we showcase the weapon by itself. Now, for the build, there we go. This is the 3rd build, as I said earlier, for level cap. We'll be running Corrosive and Blast. Why Blast? Now, Blast is very awesome because it deals 30% of base damage after 1.5 seconds as an explosion at 10 stacks or on death. We're relying more on death. Stacks deal their damage simultaneously to enemies within 5 meters while staggering them. It's really beautiful and I love it. Now, we'll be running Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, on kill more multi-shot, Serration for damage, but if you want to run faster, you can run the Amalgam Serration for sprint speed, but I prefer that 10% extra damage. Vital Sense for critical damage, Thermite, rounds for heat and statue chance, Vile Acceleration for fire rate, and 15% damage. You see, if I go, for example, for Amalgam Serration, and I lose the 15% damage, I'll be losing totally probably around 25%. But Vile Acceleration, if you don't like the negative damage to there is another fire rate modes that you can use. For example, the Speed Trigger, you'll be okay with. It's not like a very big deal, honestly. Okay, it's like from 13.6 to 11.2, you still be able to kill, you still be able to go, but we want just to push it and showcase like the high fire rate. Now, critical delay for critical chance, negative fire rate, that's why we fix it with Vile Acceleration. Primed Crew rounds for cold, high voltage for electricity, Vigilante supplies to convert secondary ammo pickup to 30% of ammo pickups, and you get the 5% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. Primary Mercilise, on kill 30% damage for 4 seconds, stacks up to 12 times, 30% reload speed. And this is pretty much the build. You don't need a Riven pretty much, but if you do need a Riven for the Torid, I would highly recommend. If it has, let's say, CCCD damage, Serration, if it has, let's say, CCCD, let's say, maybe heat, Thermite rounds, if it has CCCD, for example, electricity, high voltage, if it has cold, cryo rounds, if it has fire rate, Vile Acceleration. Now, let me know in the comments below what is your Riven, so I try to do my best and make it fit on this build. Simple as that. Now, let's summon level 230 Heavy Corrupted Gunners, and yes, we're gonna get to the Manic in a second for the Manic lovers, and we're just gonna go without DVS, so we're gonna just hit them with a Torid, activate the Incarnon form, and look at that. We don't joke around, baby, at all. Okay? Look at that. Boom. And that's what we're talking about. Now, if you run, for example, the other evolution, which is this one for full critical chance 20%, you would notice something here. Check this out. Let's get the evolution active. That you would notice that we are not doing anything extra. Is the same crit tier. So it's okay to run the balanced one. Now, simply what we're gonna do now, we're gonna activate Nourish, like so, and you'll see they are disappearing. Look at that. That's the power of DVS. Simple as that. Now, if we activate, for example, we put, let's say, acceleration for fire rate and rage for a primary. If you don't like rage for primary, you can use the other one, which is what is it? You can use, by the way, you can use Arachne if you really want to latch on walls and stuff like that. But if you don't want, it's okay. The other one I'm talking about is Arcane Rise. On reload, 60% chance for 150% damage to primary weapons. I really prefer Rage. Okay, I haven't used Rise forever. Okay, let's go. Read, activating Nourish. There we go. And would you look at that? Enemies will not survive that. Now, for the Thanos who love to use the multiplicative damage against factions, Serration is the way to go, or Vile Acceleration. So, me, honestly, I would prefer, if it comes to it, I would prefer to put instead of the Vile Acceleration. Now, let me show you. It will not affect much. You will see that we're still gonna be destroying them. Look at that. There you go. Now, you're destroying them with multiplicative damage against that faction you're fighting. It is slower, yes, but it works. Now, if you don't want to get rid of the Vile Acceleration, it's not a problem. What you can do is you can replace it instead of the Serration, right about here. Now, you're building a multiplicative build with the additives from the arcanes that you're equipping. Let's go. As you can see, you are still melting them. Okay? Now, it depends which one you want to go for. That's totally up to you. I wanted to give you guys variety here on what to choose, what to pick, what to, let's say, flip around. Now, if we equip our Nautilus Prime, because Nautilus Prime will be pulling enemies for us with Cordon, Duplex for clones, Assault to attack, Vacuum for the loot, Manifold for more Cordon, and then we got Shield, Armor, Health, Reinforce for fire rate, Tenacious Bond for critical damage if the sentient weapon you're equipping has 50% plus critical chance. The best sentient weapon that I like is Virglas Prime. Now, Virglas Prime will need the Riven with CC to get the 50% plus for Tenacious Bond to be active. But if you don't have Virglas Prime Riven, you can run Primal Razor Rifle or the Vorklock. Now, Virglas Prime, this is the Riven I have for it, and this is the build. Now, it will help you also proc Viral as well. And now let's check this out. Activating Nourish. As you can see, the fact that it pulled them like this, it's just they are dead. You see that Cordon, when it pulls enemies like that, it's just like, look at that. You see how much power more critical damage can do and more fire rate can do? We are not joking around. It is really powerful stuff, and that I highly, highly, highly recommend for you to try. So, Torid is a weapon. I don't have to talk about it. It's like very famous among Thanos. I've been getting a lot of requests about making a blast build for it, and there you go, Thanos. I hope it fits your playstyle, because Thanos has like the heat rivens and all that kind of stuff, but I'm always here listening to my community and trying to deliver. Please, one more thing, when you discuss level cap in the comments, make sure that you do level cap, make sure that you know what you're talking about, because I see a lot of misinformation in the comments, and when you ask them, it's like, we don't actually do level caps, we just like watch something. It's not the same. Now, I want to say, I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like. It will help a lot the algorithm, guys. I promise you that the video will reach more Thanos. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the build, what you think about Torid, if you're going to build it, or if you're going to try this build out. Join my Discord link on the description. Follow me on other social media like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch. Follow me on Twitch because I multi-stream Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Special thanks to Hall of Members, special VIPs, and disputed donator, and Hall of Donations, and everyone in my community. And I'll see you guys next time.